in the terminal, npm run tests, npm tests. We have configured this in our package.json to be able to handle it. So we are testing for review, for cookbook, still running. Come on. So we are testing for recipe, we are testing for users, we are testing for review, and cookbook. Yeah. So I mean, those are the tests we are currently running. Let me run that again. I think something is wrong. npm run tests. Sorry, npm tests. Something was wrong. Okay, I think something is running. Yeah. So something was running, and yeah, that I mean that is testing correctly now. So I mean we have a successful test. The next thing to do is to move on to our Git repository. So in our GitHub repository, there is evidence that we have not pushed any environment variable. The just environment variable that is here is just for configuration of the just tests for it to properly run. And then on the right hand side, we can see the contributors to this project. And yeah, so that's all basically for that. Now I will move to the API now. And the first thing to do is to check if we are currently authenticated. So I'll run a test. So yeah, I am currently authenticated. I'll just log out. I am logged out now. I'll check if I am authenticated again. So I am not authenticated anymore. So there's a requirement to protect some endpoints, right? Yes. So the first thing to do is I'll attempt to get all users. So I can get all users without being authenticated. I will attempt to delete this user. Delete the user. So I must be authenticated to delete this user. So the general overview of the project is to actually build a cookbook, a kind of digital recipe box where users can log in, users can add recipe and create cookbooks, and eventually add reviews to those cookbooks, and I mean to those recipes that has been created. So the first thing I demonstrated was that without authentication, we cannot use some APIs. So I would authenticate now to test that the Google or OAuth authentication works. I'll copy this URL and paste it somewhere so I can log in with my Gmail, and here authentication successful. So if I check my authentication status again, I would see that I am authenticated. So I will attempt to delete that user again. I still have it. Delete. Yeah, the user account is successfully deleted. Yeah. So also we added a feature in our GitHub repository to be able to, to just make work easier for us. And what that does is, so in the README, we used Markdown to create sample payloads, request response, and everything to just make our process simpler. So basically, if I want to create a recipe, all I have to do is to go to the create new recipe, come here, copy a sample recipe, and modify it, and then I would have been able to create a recipe without spending too much time. Creating recipe.
Document afresh.
Yeah. So after creating this recipe, click on hot hot fried rice. Yeah. So an in a continental dish. So we have rice. The ingredients, we have rice, we have liver,
Live.
right? So rice, two
Yeah.
cups, liver,
1 gram.
one,
1 gram of.
no, 500 gram,
All right.
500
So
gram.
yeah, 500
And
grams. Yeah.
let's add water, 3 cups. 3 cups. Yeah, I mean, etc.
Yeah. Basic stuff.
So I'll just execute to confirm that our recipe creation works. So our recipe has been created successfully, and
Great.
we can go back to viewing all the list of available recipes. Yeah, we have the Lekon hot fried rice here, and we can actually add reviews to the Lekon's hot fried
Right,
rice,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we can add a review recipe. So add a review to a recipe. I have to add the recipe ID. Let me see the payload for adding a review. Find review post review. Yeah. So absolutely delicious, perfect texture with 5-star rating, right? Execute.
Yeah.
The review has been added and it works. So, Lekon, do you want to talk through some other APIs that we have implemented?
All right. Yeah. I think I like to talk through the cookbooks.
Okay, cookbooks.
All right. So first, we can try the get cookbook shot. So see the cookbooks that we already have.
So, get user cookbook. So, because I am currently logged in,
Logged
right,
into, yeah,
it would only
to get
show
your
my
own
cookbook.
cookbooks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's fantastic. Okay. And then there's code 200 for a
100
successful.
for a
Uh,
successful response. Right. And
okay.
then we can try to post upload a new cookbook. Right. So
Okay.
again in the README
Let's
we can just copy. Yeah.
cookbook. Where are you? Cookbook, get post. So this is how to post. So I'll be adding a new cookbook for
Right.
my
The name of
delicious
the delicious cookbook, right?
fried rice sweet
So
treat.
it can be all the versions of my fried rice.
Okay, okay.
It's like a
All
cookbook.
versions of bacon fried rice. So we can
Yeah.
add array of recipes, right?
Of recipe
So let
ID.
me
Yeah.
just let
So
me
all
go for
since
that
since
recipe.
we have one of it, we can just put that one, the
Yeah,
idea of
where's the
that one.
fried rice here?
Yeah, that's it.
This is it. So to the cookbook, add it.
Yeah.
Then we save.
So we just execute.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It
you see,
works.
the response code of 201 show that it has been created successfully.
Great. Yeah, great.
And then we
So
can test the
updates,
put to update it here.
delete.
Can just
Yeah,
change the review, the book name slightly. And copy the other one that you use for the post so you can.
ID.
Yeah.
Do I still have that? So let me
And
paste the ID
yeah,
first. Let me paste the ID first. Update, paste the ID. Then in the post here, post that.
you can just change the description, I guess. Or yeah.
All the version, all the versions of Lekon fried rice. Abi?
Yeah.
So
So just execute.
execute. Yeah, and I mean it's been
Perfect.
updated to
It's
this.
updated as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
And then you
you.
can all right.
Then we can delete any cookbook. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think that
Mhm.
sums up our projects, except you
Yeah.
have any other thing to add.
I think that's it. And everything works fine.
Yeah, everything works fine. And we can also demonstrate logout.
Yeah.
So once we log out, check
And
status,
protected route.
they're not logged in. Yeah. So, I mean, that should sum up projects and everything about it. So thank you very much. Thanks for your contribution. Don't forget to add your individual contribution when you are uploading your projects, right? Okay, bye.